Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to BiblioTech On Air for our final episode of the year. I'm Rosanna.
I'm Ruby.
And I'm Israel.
We've got quite a few things to talk about today. Like I just mentioned, it is our final episode of 2023. We will be back in 2024. With that said, going into 2024, we're going to talk about our Comic-Expo. And before that, we're going to do a recap of our 2023 year because as y'all have been following along, we've had quite the busy year in terms of our podcast team. So with that said, I think we should jump right into that recap.
That good old recap.
Yeah, that good old recap. We had 21 episodes total. First one of the year was in February. Including this one, it's going to be 22 episodes for the entire year. We interviewed authors, staff members of BiblioTech, some other individuals from Bexar County departments as well. We started up a book talk. We did some comics, some graphic novels, and that transformed into a collaboration with Libros and Libations. Y'all have heard those episodes. They're pretty cool. They're pretty awesome. We love doing them. We talked about music, pop culture stuff. It was Barbie, the year of Barbie and Oppenheimer.
Barbenheimer.
It was Barbenheimer, man. That summer was like crazy.
That was wild.
I just recently saw an article too where they were talking about specifically Margot Robbie and Barbie, that they were trying to push Oppenheimer was trying to get them to push their date, like to not be released that same weekend or whatever.
Rude.
Yeah. And then I don't know what happened, but obviously they did not change the date, and which created this wonderful, lovely Barbenheimer.
Like they should be thanking that because I think the whole Barbenheimer meme,
Yeah.
It really brought attention to Oppenheimer itself.
I mean, people were going to be excited for it, but like this just put it at a whole nother level, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Some of the authors, I think we interviewed 3 authors. So we interviewed Ruben Degollado, Marisol Cortez, and V. Castro. Ruben Degollado was the author of The Family Escrito, which I love that book.
So good.
And then Marisol Cortez was the author of Luz at Midnight. And then V. Castro was the author of The Haunting of Alejandra. So of those 3 books,
very different.
Not of the authors, but of those 3 books, which one was your favorite?
Family Izquierdo.
Yeah, that one had to be my favorite as well.
Yeah, I would choose that one too.
It was so good.
It was so good.
You know, and I'm super grateful for these authors. Like, Ruben is from the Valley. Marisol is from San Antonio. V. Castro is from San Antonio. I'm super grateful that they hopped on the podcast for an episode. They were very, very fulfilling episodes for myself.
Very engaging.
Yeah. I really enjoyed Marisol Cortez because she talked about her process and everything. I'd like to do more of that in the future, about the writing process, all the technical aspects that go into it. I'm not a professional at all, but it's nice to hear a professional talk about their process.
Yeah, for sure.
And to hear, I liked how Marisol Cortez specifically was very vulnerable as well about her writing process, about being like insecure about releasing the book, and then just at the end being like, well, no, I wrote this, I'm gonna put it out, for myself, which is very admirable to hear from an author.
Definitely.
Pretty relatable too. You doubt your, sometimes you're bound to doubt your own work, but at the end of the day, be proud of what you put out.
Yeah, I mean, you're doing it for yourself.
Exactly.
At the end of the day.
Yeah, and V. Castro also got vulnerable during her interview as well.
Yeah.
I'm happy to hear that Rebel Moon she worked on an adaptation.
Yes.
For that. I think it just recently came out, like part 1.
Oh wow, it already came out
on Netflix.
Nice.
And she's working on the book adaptation.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely gonna check that out. I definitely recommend everybody check that out as well. But V. Castro had a big year.
Yeah.
She really did, right?
Yeah,
she had a big year.
Which we love to see,
Yeah, San Antonio native, like let's go. That's great to see, great to hear. Glad we were able to talk to her. Hopefully we can have her back again.
Absolutely. And it's great to see, Latina authors just,
Yeah, definitely. Let's talk about the collaboration we did with Economic and Community Development, though.
That was a big part of our year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really was. It was 1, 2, 3, 4. About 4 episodes that we put out. It started with Stephanie Grusenmeyer, who was previously a BiblioTech employee, and then Joel Morgan, Deborah Carter, and then we ended it with David Marquez, who's the executive director of Economic and Community Development. Those were great episodes.
Yeah, I really, really, really liked those because it just really brought together like Bexar County itself, you know, because sometimes, you know, us being BiblioTech, I don't know about everyone else, but I feel like secluded from the other Bexar County departments because we have our own whole little thing going on.
We have our own hours.
Yeah.
We're open 7 days a week.
Yeah. But then like when we bring someone from the, but like we're all also always promoting other Bexar County things as well. You know, I remember when the small business and entrepreneurship would come in, and then like now economic and community development, we're advertising their tram programs and things like that. So I really like, you know, reaching into those other departments and just talking about how we work together, collaborate with each other, even though we're so different. So that's what I'm kind of looking forward to in the next year, to reach out to more departments.
Yeah, that'd
Maybe
be really cool.
IT, purchasing. It'd be really interesting to hear them come on and just talk about
definitely
what they do.
Yeah. So how do you purchase stuff?
How do you,
What's that like?
what's that like? Thank you for purchasing our 3D printers.
Yeah, why are you denying this though? But one that I'm interested, Ruby, you mentioned interviewing different departments. So the Bexar County Sheriff's Office started their own podcast with Lucia Dame and Sheriff Salazar.
Oh
man, that'd be so cool if they could hop on.
And there's this more like kind of like true crime-ish, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, that would fall in line perfectly with like the books we've been talking about and stuff.
Yeah, when we did the Killers Across the Table, I played with the idea of, you know, asking a deputy or a detective or even Sheriff Salazar, you know, like, hey, could you talk about the process?
Yeah.
I wonder how that would have went. But maybe next year we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to the Text Fame program. Shout out to Economic and Community Development. Shout out to everyone over there. We love what y'all do.
Absolutely.
We loved hearing about the Text Fame program. It's a very, very important program to have, right? Because, you know, we're about all the same age. What we heard is college. You got to go to college, which is an important thing. Definitely. If you want to go to college, go for it. There's so many opportunities and scholarships that are available to you. But it's not for everybody. That's why this Text Fame program is so awesome, because it offers an alternative. Yeah.
I mean, just recently, and by recently, I mean within like the last 2 or 3 days, I had a patron. She saw our poster, or I guess our sign, display for Text Fame, and she was like, "Oh, what's that about?" You know, and I was like, "Oh, so it's, you know, this program where, you know," explained to her there's different programs that range from 8 weeks to 2 years, that they cover. You know, they really work with, you know, just trying to get in there with her, and she was super excited to hear about it. She was like, "I'm definitely gonna look into this," and she took a picture of the display and everything, and I mean, it's something that's always getting traction, you know?
Yeah, definitely. And I'm glad that we're able to help out in the way that we're able to by having these displays, by having their flyers out. And with this podcast episode that we did with the Text Fame program and Economic and Community Development Department, it equips us as BiblioTech employees with the knowledge to share with our patrons, because we see a variety of people throughout the day, throughout the year, who are interested in enriching their lives, looking for something that could help them provide for their family or for themselves. And now that we're knowledgeable, we could be like, oh, well, like, hey, so there's this program. Here's Stephanie's card. By all means, contact her.
Name drop.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was that collaboration that we did. I also mentioned too that we started doing book talks.
Yeah, that was really fun.
Yeah. Which books did we do?
We did a couple on our own. We did If Cats Disappeared from the World, Mindhunter, Sheets,
Eat the Rich.
Yeah. I think it was just those. Yeah, it was just those. That first one was What If Cats Disappeared from the World by Genki Kawamura. I love that episode.
Oh, The Family Izquierdo.
Oh, The Family Izquierdo, right.
Oh my goodness.
That one felt like a Libras and Libations.
I know. I felt the same way about Mindhunter too. I was like, wait, we didn't all read that?
Yeah. But I loved What If Cats Disappear from the World. That was such a very philosophical book.
Yeah.
And I just liked the whole concept of like the devil and how it appears and all that type of stuff. I literally love that episode.
It was very refreshing.
It was. And it was, again, such a great book.
Yeah.
And a quick read too.
Yeah. That's always nice when the books are
quick,
a quick read. So if y'all had to choose, Sheets or Eat the Rich, which one would you choose?
Sheets.
I enjoyed Sheets. I like
Sheets
both,
was
but Sheets
very just nice to look at.
True. Very
and
true.
Nice to read. I just love the visual.
and it was very atmospheric.
And
Yeah.
like during the time of year, I love
Immersing yourself
timing.
during the fall time. Yeah, for sure. If I had to choose, I would choose Sheets as well. All of what y'all are saying, but also too because it's a 3-part series.
Oh,
That too.
Give me more content.
Delegates and Lights.
But I mean, so Sheets is by Brenna Thumler. Hopefully, I'd like to interview her next year and see if we can have her on the podcast.
Goals.
We can go ahead and read 2 other ones, review them, and then shoot our shot. That's all we can do. Let's talk about Libros and Libations.
I was really excited for that merger because I had always wanted to go because this was a previous program that Romeo had in the past, and then it kind of just fizzled out, and then he restarted it this year. But now I feel like this year, like each meet that we go to is just getting like stronger and stronger. I loved like all the merch that they just put out recently. The koozies, the coasters, the towers. There's just so much Libros and Libations merch that's for free. All you have to do is just attend, and they look super cool.
And before we go any further with Libros talk, Libros and Libations, for those who don't know, it is the BiblioTech Book Club. They meet every first Monday of the month at 6 p.m. at the Burleson Yard Beer Garden here in San Antonio, Texas. Everybody who attends can submit a book request, and then our director and assistant director, Romeo, they just pull it by chance. Yeah.
And it truly is by chance.
Yeah,
it really
showed us.
Yep.
They videotaped them putting it all in a hat and picking it out. So it truly is by chance.
Ruby's book got picked. Loose at Midnight. My book got picked. The Killers Across the Table. I don't think yours.
It was a group pick. The Haunting of Alejandra.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. Nice. So all 3 of us had our books picked. Is it rigged? Is it not rigged? No, I'm just kidding. We know it's not. Just kidding.
But it's been fun. It's especially nice to, once a month go see other staff members too. Since,
for sure.
Because we don't get to see each other all that often. So it's nice to, come together, talk about books.
It's really, really engaging. The questions that Romeo specifically writes out for these meetups, they really spark some interesting topics, and sometimes we just go off topic, but it's like still relatable to the book, and I like those conversations where you get to like learn more about everyone else and their upbringing and things like that.
The different opinions too.
Yeah, everyone has totally different opinions.
You might love the book, but then the person next to you might be like, I absolutely could not
Dulce.
stand this book.
But we did Killers of the Flower Moon. On the topic of killers, we did the Killers Across the Table, the Haunting of Alejandra, and Loose at Midnight. Those are the episodes that we put out in collaboration with Libros and Libations. We do the next one will be coming out in January as well, hopefully. But yeah, I loved it.
Yeah,
I love those episodes. Ruby and Rosanna they do attend the in-person meetings. I wasn't able to this year, but hopefully next year. I'd like to. I'd love to hear everyone else's opinions. But if I'm not, or any listeners are not able to attend, the invitation's open for you to hop on the podcast episode with us to talk about and discuss the book.
Definitely for like the next book that we're gonna read, The Fourth Wing.
It's All the Light We Cannot See. That's the next one.
The one after that one.
Oh, okay.
Fourth Wing. Yeah.
Is it The Fourth Wing? Yeah,
After
that one. We're looking forward to get like some other Libros and Libations members to hop on since they are familiar with this book and the series.
I'm very passionate about it.
They're very passionate about this genre of the book as well. So
Megan,
it's a
Dulce,
bit,
Melina.
a bit romancy.
A bit romancy.
Spicy romancing.
So if you're into that, definitely check that out. I'm looking forward to it. I've never read a book like that, so that's going to be very interesting.
That book talk is going to be interesting.
Very fun, so I encourage everyone to attend.
I would be remiss to not mention this. We also interviewed Commissioner Grant Moody, which was that was a great episode.
I know. I really liked that. I didn't know what to expect talking to a commissioner. I've never talked to a commissioner before in my life. We had such a weird expectation of him as well. Like I remember we were just waiting and being like, okay, he's probably gonna have all these people come in with him, that work for him and all his assistants, and he's gonna be a little bit more serious and things like that. But no, he was very down to earth. Came in friendly. By himself. Very, very, very friendly.
Professional too, definitely. It was just, 3 people talking.
3 people chatting it up. Nice. Yeah, we also started uploading to YouTube at our YouTube page, BiblioTech West. It took off. It really did really well, especially Killers Across the Table, the Killers of the Flower Moon. That one makes sense. I mean, the movie just came out. Yeah. So it makes sense. That one did really good. A shout out to Outreach, BiblioTech Outreach. Their episode had the most plays of the year. That was awesome. It was great to have Carlos and the team on. I think it was Hasiel and Shelby
and Carlos.
Yeah, that was a very fun episode.
Very.
Yeah, I really liked it. I liked getting their perspective, what goes into Outreach.
And getting to know them too.
Yeah. And that's what I love about the podcast, right? Because we also interviewed the Outreach team, Braulio, and then Milena. Milena is the branch manager for BiblioTech East. Braulio is our programming librarian for BiblioTech. And I like getting their perspectives. So Haley, Marissa, Jesse Garcia, hey, be on the lookout next year. Oh, and Olivia. Olivia's been waiting.
Oh, yeah. I know. Yeah, Olivia has been waiting.
Olivia's been waiting. So next year, we got you.
Yeah, we got you.
And again, if y'all want to catch up, like these episodes are still, they're not going anywhere. They are available. So by all means, feel free to go back, listen to some of our back catalog. They are very fun episodes.
Yeah, for sure. Let's move on to favorite music, movies, books, comics of the year. Some pop culture highlights that y'all think that y'all enjoyed. We talked about Barbie and Oppenheimer. That was a huge thing.
Very, very huge. I'm so glad I lived in the time where that happened.
Yeah.
Honestly.
It was just my favorite movie personally. I loved the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. My niece is a big fan of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so of course we were all going to see it together, and I loved it because especially Seth Rogen had a major part in it.
Oh, nice.
And I like him. I like his work. So I loved that. That was one of my favorite movies of the year.
It's funny that you mentioned that because small little detail, but I've been on like a 9 Inch Nails binge, and me and my friend were talking about it, and he's like, Trent Reznor did the soundtrack for the Teenage, and I was like, are you serious?
Yeah.
And it's sick.
That's awesome. Yeah. So I was looking back at the books that I read. I read Mindhunter for us, right, for the podcast, and then The Killers Across the Table. And then I read The Inside of the Mind of the BTK. I was like, man, this is the year of true crime for me.
I know.
You're
in your true crime era.
Yeah, for real. But yeah, so my favorite author of the year for me, she didn't have anything come out this year, but Emily St. John Mandel, she's the author of Station 11 and Sea of Tranquility and The Glass Hotel, which are all available on Cloud Library, ebook and audiobook. I recommend her, man. I recommend her highly. I love her work, and everything's very connected as well, but not connected in the sense where like you read one book and you can't read the other one, right? They're all their own books, but man, they're like post-apocalyptic stuff type of thing. Station 11 has a show on Amazon Prime worth watching. That's actually how I got into her work, because of the show.
I mean, we had some really good stuff come out this year. Definitely shout out to Sheets again, because that one was my personal favorite. It was so good. But The Family Izquierdo too, that one was just so good. Did not expect it to really stay with me as much as it has. Movies, I mean, come on, Barbie. Classic.
Yeah,
so good. And then the hype around it, just everyone dressing in pink, or the hi Barbie,
the girlhood of
the
it.
girlhood. It was wonderful to see.
We were all connected,
especially like just
hi Barbie.
That's still gold. I'm gonna say it, the Taylor Swift Eras movie. Some of us were too broke to go to the concert, so it was nice that it was in in the theaters, and it's just a good fun time. If you enjoy her music, go with your friends, go alone, who cares? But it was fun, definitely. And I mean, this year in music was just amazing.
Yeah,
I mean, we're still in that post-pandemic music, tours, albums coming out. It was just a phenomenal year for music, I think. And shout out to Kylie Minogue. She had her dang year with Padam, the Tension album. That's my girl. I love her music so much. So absolute shout out to her. Good for you.
Yeah, Jason Mraz had an album come out, Mystical, Magical, Rhythmical, Radical Ride. I mentioned it on the podcast when we were talking about what we're listening to. Jason Mraz had a huge year. For those listeners
Dancing
who don't
with
know,
the Stars.
He was on Dancing with the Stars. He came in second place. But man, he gave it his all. He had an album come out. I can't wait for his tour next year. He's going to show off all his new dance moves. But my album of the year is Chris Black Saved My Life from Portugal the Man, which is available on Hoopla, and all their other albums are available there as well. But man, that album was, it was so good. I love that album. It was really good. I like every track, like legitimately every track. The only other album besides Jason Mraz's albums that I really like that is the Red Hot Chili Peppers. By the way, every song banger, great.
No skips.
Yeah, no skips. No skips.
I don't know. I can't remember any of my albums. Just right now, I'm bopping Cher's Christmas album that she just put out.
Yeah,
that slaps. Love Christmas. Love Cher. So they
perfect
go
combo.
perfect together. Love. She's 77, just still doing her thing. That I don't know why it just reminded me too of the Dolly Parton
Super Bowl.
Yes.
Or,
no. The
The
Cowboys
halftime show?
Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Thanksgiving show. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, she popped off then too. So
She
then
popped
she threw me
off.
back into my Dolly Parton era as well. So I love all these new refreshing artists. I mean, not these old artists like coming out now.
They
again,
stay relevant.
Showing that
absolutely
they
stay
still got
relevant.
it. Showing that age is just a number.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, money helps too, but
Oh yeah, money, doctors,
Yeah.
everything.
but
Definitely.
no, absolutely. There's some good albums, some solid
Dolly
solid
World.
music. Oh, I would love to go to Dollywood one day. That's another goal.
But yeah, with that being said, so this was the recap of the year. We had a huge year.
Mhm.
We're going to have an even bigger year next year, y'all. I feel it.
Yeah.
Oh, for
You
sure.
know, we're going to have new interviews with authors, community members,
Maybe staff members, hopefully.
staff
like you mentioned.
members. Yeah. More Lead West and Libations talks, more graphic novel talks, things like that. We also put out Lady Bird too. That one did really well as well. So we'll be reviewing more movies. Well, I also want to get into the topic of more librarianship. Maybe we can interview different librarians from throughout the country. Now that we have the ability to interview phone calls and Zoom talks, I would love to get their perspective.
Yeah,
I
just
would love to
showing
get their
how,
perspective.
because there's some that pop off on social media,
Yeah.
and just getting their perspective on how important that is to promote, being a library and keeping it relevant, keeping people using it, just leaving that out there.
Yeah.
that-
Right. The importance of making sure libraries stay funded
Yeah.
instead of trying to take money
Exactly.
away from them. That's such a big thing going on right now, too, in
Yeah.
addition to the book bans, book challenges.
And I would
all of
love
that.
to see. So I would love to see the perspective of a librarian from another state, because every state handles book bans differently, right? The way Texas handles it is going to be different from, say, California.
Mhm.
There's going to be a big difference there. So I would love to hear that perspective. But yeah, that's what we have. Some stuff coming up. It's going to be a bigger, better year.
And we will be back after these messages. Check out BiblioTech's newest resource, Craft and Hobby. Craft and Hobby is an extensive online platform that aims to provide you with access to creative educational resources. You can explore in-depth online instructional videos and classes that span 22 different creative categories, allowing you to learn a new hobby or improve your skills in an existing area. Thanks to Craft and Hobby's on-demand streaming videos, you can learn whenever and wherever you choose. Craft and Hobby features thousands of classes taught by world-renowned experts who walk you through each technique clearly with step-by-step demonstrations, providing expert tips and tricks along the way. Check it out today with your library card. And now we're back.
Speaking of big years, we are going to start 2024 off with a bang.
Yeah.
We have our upcoming BiblioTech Comic-Expo, January 13th from 12 to 4 p.m. at BiblioTech EDU. The address is 626 North Flores Street, San Antonio, Texas. I'm super excited. We've been doing so much planning. We've been just, full steam ahead.
Yeah.
I'm like giddy with excitement about it. Nervous, anxious, but that goes into planning these big events.
The
Yeah.
usual feelings.
Yeah. But it's feeling like it's gonna be bigger than
I know. Yeah. I mean, I feel like because last year was the first time this team was working on putting this event together. So we kind of didn't know what to expect. We didn't know like how to plan it, like to the T, to the minutes, like all our staff, everything. It was really hard to envision. So now that we lived through it, we saw it, it's so much easier to envision. And then we have such a good relationship now with the vendors as well that came last year. So they were a big help.
Definitely.
And helping us envision everything as well. So that's why I feel like this year's going to be a lot better because we're more prepared and know what to expect now.
Dude, we're ahead of the curve this time around because last year at this point we were like, oh my God.
So unhinged energy last year around this time. We were so stressed. Chickens with their heads cut off.
Like it was very palpable. Just all of us going, you know, it
was a fun memory.
Yeah,
in retrospect,
all of us just everywhere throughout the branch, working hard, sweating away on our machines.
Yeah, last year was a great experience. Last year when we were planning for this year's
great learning experience.
It was a great learning experience. Running an event like that. I mean, I'm trying to think if I had an experience running an event at this scale. I don't think so. But always grateful for the opportunity. Shout out to our branch manager, Jesse Garcia. Shout out to our director, Laura Cole, and our assistant director, Romeo Rosales. They really allow us to put on these events for the community, right? And this year, planning everything a lot smoother. And that's a testament to the team. Yeah. Really shout out to Ruby and Rosanna and all BiblioTech West. But Ruby and Rosanna, y'all have been doing an amazing job. I tell y'all all the time, but I want to tell y'all here for everybody to hear that y'all are doing awesome. I wouldn't be able to do it without y'all, any of it without y'all. But getting into some of the vendors and artists that we have, right? So coming back, we have TBD Creations.
Yes, which was, I'm going to just take a moment to say they are the real ones. They are the OGs. They are the first one since last year and the first one this year that were like, yes, we're on board. Let's go. So I just want to thank them. They are
for sure
our ride or die vendor right now.
Definitely. We have Alejandro from Wind Up Hero.
Yes.
We have Uniquely Recyclables or Uniquely Recyclable, which is that their stuff is pretty cool.
Yeah,
like really, really. I think it's like Frida Kahlo centered. I know their logo is Frida Kahlo.
Very Latin culture.
Yeah,
Latin
I'm excited. I'm so excited, and I saw their setup. Their setup is so cool. They have a lot of awesome stuff. We also have Tezzy Arts, which that one's really cool. They had offered to do a panel of some kind over like creating cosplay, creating like the furry suits and things like that, which is, man, that's a lot of work. A lot of work goes into that type of stuff. Really, really. So hopefully in 2025, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, to have that panel for sure.
Yeah. We have Taco Boy Designs. We have Nicole de la Luz, or Squishy and Sweet, and then Breen Heath. And one that I'm extremely excited about. I don't know how to say his last name, but his first name is Emmanuel
Valtierra.
There you go. I just had to have Rosanna say it. But man, I'm super excited about that one. He's a San Antonio native. He's done alternative like comic book art for DC, specifically like Blue Beetle. Man, it's so cool. And his style is
amazing.
Yeah. I love his styles incorporating like Aztec art into like Marvel comics, things like that. So that's something that you should definitely look out for.
Yeah, definitely.
I love how like some of these vendors that we have as well, they're like teenagers. Like
again, TBD Creations.
Yeah, like they're young and just starting their own small business, and the fact that we can put an event like this to encourage them, you know, to help promote their small business as well, you know, and like I look forward to the future, you know. Like TBD Creations better get a shout out in your future.
Heck yeah.
to see where you're gonna go in the future, you know, as you get older. That's gonna be really exciting to see. But I'm excited. This is going to be a lot of fun. Last year was a lot of fun, even though we were very stressed. But
go ahead.
No, I was going to say, EDU as well. Their help.
Yeah.
This year is going to be a lot. You know, they're going to help us with the decorating.
Invaluable.
3D printing stuff. East is helping us 3D print some stuff as
Yeah.
well too. So we're having a lot more help from all the other branches.
Which shout out. Thanks guys.
Yeah.
We really do appreciate it.
Yeah. It goes such a long way.
Yeah.
And I love that an event like this really allows us to collaborate with the other branches.
Yeah.
I love that. I want to do more of that. And that's why I love having them on the podcast, from other staff members from the other branches, even from admin, because it gives us that perspective, right?
Yeah, we get to see. They're cool. They have some really cool staff. Like East has really cool, fun staff. EDU has really cool.
And they're just talented.
Shout out to Sarah with that crochet program.
Yeah.
Man, she's like super talented.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We also have some cosplay groups.
That's exciting.
Coming
like
out. If you
some
want to
of the
talk
ones
about
from
those,
last year. Oh, for sure.
Rosanna?
We have so quick rundown. We have USS Bear, who they've definitely been very enthusiastic about, you know, participating, which we love to see. Star Wars Society of San Antonio, which for those of you who were here last year, or if not, here's a little teaser for this year. Pete Solo, who is the leader of this group, has a life-size R2-D2, which
so
it's
cool.
great to see just kind of, you know, wandering around the event. We have Comic Arts SA, which we were part of their event this year at the Wonderland Mall of the Americas. And that was an amazing event, and it was huge. And I don't know if this gentleman has a team behind him or if he runs it by himself, but it was a massive event.
Yeah, it was like artists and, right?
Yeah, comic artists, vendors, everything. So it's going to be exciting to have him there and talk about what Comic Arts SA is going to bring this year to the table. And I believe, and don't quote me on that because, you know, things change, but I do believe he was going to be able to bring a comic book artist as well. So mystery guest, we'll see.
Mystery guest.
And then returning from last year as well, we have Havoc, which stands for Heroes and Villains of Cosplay, and Caps Crusaders. And they just had the most amazing setups as well. So they all, including USS Bear and Star Wars Society, had their cosplay alley.
Yeah.
It was wonderful. I'm excited to see what they dress up as this year, or, you know.
Yeah. Some of the events and activities that we have, you want to talk about those, Ruby?
Oh, yeah. So speaking of the events and activities that we have planned to go on throughout the day at Comic-Expo, we're going to have, of course, our video game room in the kids' room, just nothing but video game tournaments, Smash Brothers, Mario Kart, all that good stuff. We have, I know Jesse P is looking forward to that one because he is annihilates at Smash Brothers.
Which
So
also shout out to Gaming Face Off. He does amazing
oh
with
yeah,
that. So it's just
that
gonna
has
be
been
seamless
going
for
really
him.
good too. I mean, he's like a winner of tournaments as well.
Yeah, right. He said he wants Smash Bros. Tournaments, things like
This is
that.
perfect for him.
So
Well, he's barred from competing.
See
You are working the event, sir. You cannot participate. Sorry. Nah, I'm just kidding.
See if you're up to the challenge of that. But we're also going to have our beloved 3D printers in the maker space. Andy's going to show off his amazing prints that he's done, like his Mandalorian armor, all of his helmets that he's done. He's very, if you do not know of Andy, he's very passionate of 3D printing and makes it really, really fun to learn about. He has a good crew, a good following of people who love to hear him talk about it. So definitely go check that out. Where of course we're gonna have our cosplay contest. So we have some really cool prizes that we're gonna give away if you're a winner of these cosplay contests. So definitely come out. I know last year we had some really cool cosplayers.
Oh, for sure.
What was it, Loki? That one patron who came as Loki. Oh, he was decked out. But who ended up winning last year?
It was a couple of people.
Yeah, because we did like first, second, third place. But they were all really, really some cool cosplays. We're gonna have a scavenger hunt where we're gonna collect. Oh, so speaking of the scavenger hunt, Louis, our new staff member at West, designed the coolest stickers of Techie, our beloved mascot, as different cosplayers. So there's a Pikachu Techie, there's a Sailor Moon Techie,
Mario,
Harry Potter,
Gandalf, my favorite.
Gandalf.
Harry Potter, yeah.
They all look super, super sick, and we're gonna have all these stickers for free to collect. Put them everywhere. They look super duper cool.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a VR cave that's very beloved, virtual reality.
Yeah.
And then we also plan on doing a Just Dance, which is always fun.
Yeah.
Photo op as well. The EDU is going to go hard on decorating.
Yeah.
If you haven't been to EDU, they go hard on any day of the year, any special occasion. So we asked them for a lot of help on this one, and they're gonna decorate the branch very sick. And then of course tabletop gaming and magic tournament if you're into that. And perler beads is always cool, so you can have more free stuff to take home. We want to give away as much free things as possible. And then we are also in the works of the first 50 people to come in will get a free merch bag.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. We're still in the process, playing with the idea, see what we're gonna do. I did want to give a shout out to some of the donors that we had donate some things. So shout out to SAMA, the San Antonio Museum of Art, San Antonio Zoo, Pinstack Bowling, SeaWorld, the Museum, Chicken and Pickle, Morgan's Wonderland. Because we're gonna be raffling off maybe every hour, maybe every 30 minutes. We'll figure it out. But yeah, we also have some pretty awesome prizes to be giving out as well. 3D prints that we have. We have Spider-Man, Darth Vader, this giant Hulk figure, this like awesome crystal dragon. We have the Iron Throne from Game of Thrones.
Oh, that one came out so good.
Yeah, Thor's hammer. And then we have this really cool Iron Man statue. So it's sounding like it's going to be an awesome time. It is a free event. Artists and vendors that are there are going to be selling their items. But yeah, be on the lookout at our Instagram page, BiblioTech_West, because we're announcing all of the vendors and artists that we have, cosplay groups. And as it gets closer to the expo, we're going to be putting out the schedule of events, right? So it's 4 hours, 12 to 4, and we're going to have different events and activities planned throughout the day, throughout that time.
And again, emphasis on free.
Yes.
Free. We want to give away as many free things as possible.
Yeah.
Free things, free admission.
All we have to give away, we don't want.
Yeah.
We want y'all to have it.
But yeah, definitely come by. You don't need... I mean, you can, get tickets on Eventbrite, but it's not required.
Yeah, it's more
You can
like
just show up, have fun, take pictures, do all the events, scavenger hunt. It's just a good, solid, fun time.
Really is.
All right, so that just about wraps up our final episode of 2023. But of course, we have to end it on our usual. Ruby Israel, what is your final reading, watching, listening to
of the year?
I'm currently reading All the Light We Cannot See, which is our next Libros and Libations book, and it's the one I picked. So I'm excited because especially the Netflix series just came out for that as well.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to read it, and then I'm excited to watch it. Very World War II love story within World War II. I'm looking forward to that. I just started reading, so I'm very, very early on. But so far, it's great.
Nice.
Very engaging. Very easy to read.
Great. What about you, Rosanna?
So right now I'm jumping around a couple things. I finally, because this book's been on Cloud Library hold quite a bit, and I feel like I missed out. But Big Swiss, I've finally been able to start that one. So I'm liking what I'm reading so far. And then there's another one I'm reading. It was a birthday gift. It is a second part in the Sheep series, Delegate. So shout out to whoever it was Israel. it was Israel. He gave that to me as a gift. So, but yeah, those two I'm kind of there's a couple other ones, but we're not going to get into those. So,
so I'm currently reading the 4th or 5th book in the Dexter series by Jeff Lindsay, Dexter by Design. I didn't have enough true crime, I guess, this year, and I wanted to keep it on the theme of serial killers. But he's a good serial killer. He kills bad people. So there's that. I zoom by that book. But I'm also currently watching The Sopranos.
Oh, I'm going to start that too.
It's so good. I love The Sopranos. I can go on and on. But yeah.
Started with season 6, episode 1.
Yes.
You did?
Yes. And I didn't even catch it until I went to episode 2 of season 6, and I was like, wait, why does it say 6? Yeah, but that's okay. I saw major spoilers, but what can you do? That's life.
But yeah, so thanks again, y'all, for sticking with us this year. Again, 2023 has been an absolute ride, the best ride. And 2024 can only get bigger from here, like Israel and Ruby were saying. So make sure y'all stay tuned for when we come back with season 3 of BiblioTech on Air. But in the meantime, y'all have a very happy holiday season and a wonderful new year. And we hope to see you guys at our upcoming Comic-Expo. So I'm Rosanna.
I'm Ruby.
And I'm Israel.
And we'll catch y'all this coming year.